This video is going viral because of how completely ridiculous this situation is. A group of criminals are just robbing a store in broad daylight, and basically nobody's doing anything about it. This sparked a huge debate on Twitter as to what the employee should actually be doing. Some people are mad that they're just witnessing a crime and doing nothing about it, calling them part of the problem. Other people are saying that I'm not gonna put myself in danger for somebody else's perfume. So let's watch the clip and talk about the responses. Okay, so apparently they were stealing Sauvage Dior, which is a fragrance for men. I wouldn't know, I don't use it. But in this next part, you can actually see who's filming.
Why wake up?
Okay, so according to TikTok, they stole about $30,000 worth of items. In the clip, you can even see this random lady completely walk past the situation, completely nonchalantly, not even like panicking or anything, just ignoring the entire situation. Apparently, this seems to be like a regular bizarre occurrence, because normally when somebody is committing a crime, you'd kind of expect like the general public or everybody around in that area to rush to stop them, right? But in this case, people seem to not care at all. And in my opinion, it's kind of justifiable because nobody's life is actually being threatened here. It's not like this is like a small business and the owner kind of needs these sales to survive. This is a pretty rich business and it seems like people just don't care. And honestly, you can't really expect retail employees to care about the situation given the fact that they are not paid security wages. So why should they risk their life, put themselves in danger because, these robbers at any time could possibly pull out like a knife or a gun and put their lives in danger. So why risk my life for somebody else's perfume, right? In my opinion, if you actually want them to stop the robbers, you have to pay them security wages because it's not part of their job. So why would they willingly do something that's not part of their job? As for the customers, it's pretty obvious why they don't care. Even if I was in that scenario walking past these people robbing the store, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna help. Like, I'm no superhero, okay? If you want me to be a superhero, give me a goddamn cape. So this person asks an innocent question here. Why aren't the employees doing anything about it? And he gets absolutely ratioed. So David here says, you're gonna risk your life for perfume? Probably not. Didn't you see them grab a shit ton of stuff? Yes, I did. And it wasn't my stuff, okay? I do not care. You gotta understand that in these scenarios, there's actually no point in being the hero. Like, you're not gonna get rewarded monetary compensation for this, even if you do manage to somehow stop them. And how are you gonna stop them without getting into some sort of a physical altercation? And when you get into this physical altercation with the robbers, they can actually sue you, and you can be the one to get into trouble. So obviously, it's not gonna be worth it, okay? Now, if there was some horrific crime going on or something, like somebody's getting groped or something, sure, be a hero, because that way you can justify it with your conscience, okay? This person's going through something traumatic and I gotta be the hero and save them. But perfume? You're really gonna risk your life for perfume? When have you ever seen a superhero movie where the superhero actually comes and saves somebody's perfume, okay? There's always saving a person, okay? If you wanna save a person, okay, you're brave, you're courageous. If you wanna save perfume, you're just just stupid, okay? So somebody gives like a list of reasons here. Why would an employee put yourself in harm's way? You will most likely be punished by the law harsher than the criminal. You will most likely be fired. A chance of social stigmatization depending on the races. Number 5, it's not worth barely above minimum wage. Okay, so this part kind of shocked me, but apparently this is like common knowledge that everybody knows, that the person trying to stop the criminal is oftentimes more heavily persecuted than the criminal themselves. Because in order to stop the criminal, he would have had to get into some sort of an altercation, and then the criminal countersues because, I don't know, he has nothing better to do, and then you get in trouble for being a hero. Which is why nobody wants to be a hero, and you get this absolute bizarre dystopian world where crimes are openly being committed and people are just walking past because, I don't know, the security is not there, police aren't arriving, they don't even care that they're being caught on camera. Sure, you can't identify their faces clearly, but I feel like it's good enough to find them if they really wanted to, meaning that they really aren't scared of the law at all. Meaning, like, this is just a government problem. Now, point number 3 really got me, that you can potentially be fired for this. Like, imagine stepping up for your boss's, like, perfume or something, and the next day you get fired because of some random store policy that you violated. Apparently, you're not even allowed to protect the boss's, I don't know, stuff. At that point, I'd pull out the big guns, okay? I'll write a mean review on TikTok. Now, the social stigmatization part is a really tricky one, but I do understand why it's a concern, especially in America. Like, imagine stopping robbers from robbing a store and you get called racist for it. That's an America moment right there. Retailers have a hands-off policy due to the threat of lawsuits. Criminals and employees have successfully won lawsuits after being injured during confrontations. All they can do now is get a license plate number and show the video to law enforcement. Now that is absolutely bonkers right there. I feel like nuance is completely lost in these situations, and if someone gets injured, everything gets thrown out the window and you're liable for some sort of damage, even if it was kind of necessary. Like, how are you gonna stop the robbers without injuring one of them? Like, it's gonna be really hard, like, because they're obviously gonna struggle, right? They're not just gonna lay down, sit there, and be caught. Now, before you start panicking, don't worry, this is a very location-specific thing. Now, if you do happen to be in such locations, then you may panic, or just, I don't know, leave the store. Don't own any stores. That's probably the best thing you can do, okay? Now, honestly, I don't know what kind of government leads to this, because honestly, in places that I've lived before, if something like this happens, either the security at the mall will immediately come and stop them, or if they're not present at that time, law enforcement will arrive very easily, and this will not be a regular occurrence at all. So this is definitely some sort of governing issue, right? Now, I do feel that if an employee actually does step up and save the day, I feel like they should be entitled to at least half of the products they saved, like as compensation, something like that. And they need to be treated with some nuance. Like, if they have to injure the robber a little bit to stop them, I mean, you can't get sued for that, man. That's ridiculous. Anyways, click this video or they rob your house, man. I don't make the rules, but I just did.